Hey guys, welcome to Daily Bible Study. We're so glad that you have decided to join us today. It's a beautiful day to be able to connect with the Lord and to connect with each other. And so, our hope today is that as you connect to us through Bible study, you will realize that we are just excited as you are, hopefully, to get into God's Word. So, let's do that today. Today, I want to look at our chapters for today, which are Jeremiah 34, 35, and 36. So, we're getting close to finishing the book of Jeremiah again. So, Jeremiah 34, 35, and 36. One of the things we see in this story here is the concept of obedience. We see obedience, and then we also see defiance toward God. Now, those are two categories that are uncomfortable, but should demonstrate in us some sort of a response. And it really depends on how we consider God, right? Do we consider him to be the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords? Do we consider him to be the Almighty? Do we consider him to be just someone who hasn't worked things out the way that we want him to work out? And so we kind of reject him as our sovereign King and Lord. Depending on how you respond to that reality, whether you are in the affirmative, yeah, that's how I think about God, he hasn't done anything for me, or you think about him as the one true God, everybody has to recognize this reality that either we are in obedience toward God, God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one true God, right? Yahweh, Yod-He, Vav-He, or we are in defiance toward him. Now, those two choices are important because the Bible describes, particularly in this narrative, that Jeremiah had to endure costly torture and costly circumstances and trials because of his obedience to God. Now, some would say, well, you should have done something different, Jeremiah. You should have responded differently. You should have rejected and defied what God told you to do. The problem is that the other side of the coin, which would have been defiance toward what God was calling him to do, had a more severe and a devastating result to it, not only for the nation of Judah, but for individuals and kingdoms and nations who defy the authority of God in their lives. So, yes, at times obedience can be costly, and Jeremiah knew that in order for him to accomplish what God wanted him to accomplish, he was going to have to endure some things, but nothing compared to what God was preparing him to warn the nations and to warn those who were in direct defiance of God of what would happen to them. And so, as you read these narratives, we can learn from these mistakes. We can learn from the moments where these individuals missed the mark, where these individuals fell short, where these individuals did not trust God the way that they needed to. And we can learn from them in our own lives. And really, I heard a wise man say today, and it's a true statement, there's really only one real issue that you need to determine. Are you going to live in obedience to God, or are you going to live in defiance? Nothing else really matters if you get that figured out. And so I hope today that you will do that. Read through Jeremiah 34, 35, and 36 and just look at that. But I hope you guys can be encouraged by that today and that you can walk in obedience and not reject what God is saying to you today. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.